Dosta Wilbren. Jaunil Xwil Kjorl Elgajas Unsta. Yarnil Ram Shaleskara.
This is Menzoberranzan, your birthplace, your prison, your lesson. A city carved from darkness, where ambition is life and betrayal is the blade that keeps it sharp. The law here is a mockery. Only those who are caught and unable to evade justice are punished. To survive, you must always be one step ahead. To rule, you must scheme without pause, strike without warning, and never show weakness. You were born into this world, shaped by it, but you do not belong. Once you were blind to it, as all Drow children are. You lived 16 years in the shadows of a house that bored you. A minor house, ever on the edge of power, but not yet among the 8 that control the council and the city. You had to learn to obey before you learned to speak. To hesitate was to suffer. To question was to bleed. This is your sister. She is raising you. This is not rage. Rage would mean you were worth the effort. No, this is discipline, cold and necessary to become a Drow warrior. Why do you falter, boy? She demands. A Drow does not pause. A Drow acts. This sister is not like the others. Not as cruel, not as quick to punish. She was chosen to teach you languages, common knowledge, the will of Lolth. One of the teachings especially caught your attention. You couldn't look away from the words, "Trust no one, especially allies." "What?" she asks. "I can't trust anyone, even you, sister." It was bothering you. You had to ask. Her expression hardens. The whip cracks to life, raised high, ready to strike. But something you said makes her falter. "Even me, little brother, never forget." She answers, and you notice it, a broken sadness hiding beneath her words. The door creaks open in the room. "Come," she says. "Matron Malice has summoned you." You lower your gaze to the floor as you were taught. Without another word, you follow your other sister. As you enter the meeting room, you notice your mother, brother, and eldest sister. "Mother," you speak, looking to the ground. "Know your place, male." "It's Matron Malice," the eldest sister snaps. Matron Malice raises a finger. Silence falls. 16 years. An important period of your life has passed, she says. You don't understand the meaning of those words. Your life was an unending and unchanging routine. One day, or 16 years, what difference did it make? "Look at me," she commands. You feel lost. Every instinct to look upon a person's eyes with whom you were talking was beaten out of you by the pain of your sister's whip. "Look at me," her tone edged with impatience. "No more servant. You are no longer a page prince. You are the second boy of our house," she states. More a threat than a congratulation. As she finishes her statement, you notice your other sister entering the room, accompanied by your sword instructor. "Matron Malice, I present to you Zaknafine as you requested," your sister announces before moving to her place. "Greetings, Zaknafine Do'Urden. I'm the second boy of our house, no longer the page prince. I can look at you now, at your eyes, not your boots. Mother told me so." You watch your sister's face go rigid. For the first time, it's as if they don't even know how to react to such insolence. A second of frozen silence. Zaknafine meets your gaze. A flicker of something in his sharp features. A smirk, brief and fleeting. Then it's gone. Your mother does not react, not outwardly. An unsettling rarity. Her face remains stone, her thoughts locked behind her piercing red eyes. Then, as if nothing had happened, she continues, "You will go to Sorcerer in 1 year's time." The statement is final. There is no invitation for discussion. Zaknafine, however, does not hold his tongue. Perhaps Melee-Magthere would better suit him. a flick of her hand. His words cut off abruptly. The idea lingers in the room, an unspoken possibility. You don't know why, but something about Zach's suggestion feels right. You trust him. A risk, a test. You reach into your pockets, your fingers closing around the smooth weight of 8 coins. You feel the tension in the air. Everyone's watching. With a flick, 4 coins rise from your right hand, 4 from your left. They spin in the dim light, but they don't hit the ground. The movement is seamless, unnaturally precise. No drow of your age should be capable of such control. Zaknafein's sharp eyes glint with something. Amusement? Approval? It's hard to say. Two-handed, he states, his voice low and firm. The boy is two-handed. For a long moment, silence hangs in the air. The flicker of consideration in her eyes is brief, but it's there. Very well, she says, her voice as sharp as a blade. Melee-Magthere. She does not linger. Her gaze locks onto him. Take the boy and teach him proper manners. If he ever speaks out of turn again, I will carve out his tongue myself and blind him so he may never look upon his betters. She lets the threat settle, then continues, cold, calculated. If you wish to make him the next weapon master of House Do'Urden, I wonder, what use will you have when that time comes? You glance at Zach. For the first time, his expression shifts, just a fraction. A tightening at the corner of his mouth, a flicker in his eyes. Not just understanding, certainty, not of exile, not of disgrace, of death. The moment passes, swallowed by silence. You don't fully grasp the consequence of her decision yet, but you know that the next 10 years of your life will be spent mastering the sword, not the arcane. The first strike comes before you even know the lesson has begun. You see it this time, twisting aside, your instincts sharp from years under his training. But something is different. Zaknafein isn't fighting like he usually does. Can you survive? He whispers. Do you have the heart of a drow warrior? Another strike. You gracefully evade. I will remember everything you taught me, you promise him, your voice steady. The scowl on his face surprises you. Are you so very sure of yourself? Zach growls, stubbornly pursuing you. You set your blades in a ringing fury and declare, I am a fighter, a drow warrior. Zach laughs, a dry, bitter sound. You're a dancer, an imposter, a pretender to a title you cannot begin to understand. His voice cracks with something darker than mockery. A drow warrior? He lunges, his staff a blur. You barely manage to parry, but the force sends you stumbling back. Do you know the emotions of murder? Zach spits. Have you reconciled with what you've done? You answer with your swords, frustration bleeding into your movements. You know what you did, but who is he to judge? He kills too, just like any drow, or is he? Why fight against it, yet still embrace it? Ah, the pleasure of plunging your sword into the bosom of a high priestess, Zach mutters. Have you ever heard the screams of dying children? His words land heavy in the air. They echo over the centuries in your mind. They chase you down the paths of your entire life. You never heard them, have you, dancer? Arms wide, he beckons you. Come then and claim your second kill. He taps his stomach, his voice cold. In the belly, where the pain is greatest, so that my screams may echo in your mind. Prove to me that you are the drow warrior you claim to be. The tip of your swords touches the ground, your grip faltering. His words hit harder than anything you ever felt. Zach was always more to you, something you couldn't grasp. Yet now, he's asking you to take that final step to embrace a darkness you didn't want to accept. Why? You hesitate. Zach laughs, mocking you. This is your chance to make your name, he taunts. the boy who slew the most honoured weapon master in all of Menzoberranzan. Is this not what you desire? You lash out, your sword flashing forward in a furious, uncalculated strike. He counters with a low strike, taking advantage of your unbalanced stance. You hit the ground, hard. Zaknafein's posture shifts. He offers his hand to lift you up, an unexpected gesture for the moment, you think. But you reach up. The moment your hand is almost within his grasp, Zaknafein shifts. His staff comes down, swift and brutal, smashing against your head before you can even react. The blow leaves you dazed, your vision spinning. You trust too easily, Zak growls, his voice low and cold. Trust is a weapon, a weakness. Never forget that. He adjusts his clothes as if nothing significant happened and continues. Go to the academy. Bask in the glory of your prowess, but remember the consequences. His eyes bore into you as if searching for something deeper. Do not become like them, he whispers, his voice laced with sorrow, before turning and walking away. You don't yet fully grasp the weight of Zak's words, but you will. This was your farewell. As you are about to enter through the entrance of the academy, you hear a voice from behind. My greetings. Kelnoz of House Canafin, 15th house, the novice said. You answer exactly as Matron Malice had teach you. House Do'Urden, 9th house of Menzoberranzan. A noble, remarked Kelnoz, and dropping in a low bow. You were starting to like this place. With the treatment you received at home, you hardly thought yourself as a noble. So for the first year, you learned the ways of Melee-Magthere, combat, tactics, manipulation, ruthlessness, and survival. You came to understand that power and strength determine everything here, and those who fail are cast aside. In a place where alliances shift with every breath, you found an unexpected connection in Kelnoz. Though not the most skilled, he became the closest thing to a friend you had. Then came the trials. Each year, a brutal contest of skill and strategy, designed to separate the strong from the weak. Success brings prestige not just to the warrior, but to his house. Failure is a stain on the house's name, a sign of weakness that rivals would exploit. You and Kelnoz, having fought through countless battles, find yourselves among the last two pairs standing. The rules are simple. Only one winner, so the two members of the final pair would have to fight each other. You hold your stance, muscles tense, knowing something lurks behind the rocks. The moment comes. A shadow leaps from cover, and you react instantly, swinging your weapon. But your vision explodes into white. You know you hit something. You track them by sound. Finally, your sight clears. Your enemies stand before you, but they didn't take the opportunity. Then, a cold pressure at your throat. You freeze. Kelnoz stands behind you. His voice is calm. You're out. This doesn't make sense. He could have claimed second place. You don't understand. The trial eventually ends. Later, when you confront him, still in disbelief, Kelnoz meets your gaze with a cool indifference. I won, you lost, he says preemptively. I was stronger. You try to make sense of it. But you could get second. Kelnoz's expression hardens. I would never have had a chance against you, so I raise my chances allying to the other pair. Now it clicks. In the tense standoff between your group and the others, Kelnoz used the silent language to strike a deal with the enemy, planning to eliminate you and then fight. But in the end, the other pair betrayed him too, ganging up on him. Kelnoz ended up in third place, losing the second spot he would have had by sticking with you. It's then that you finally start to understand Zak's lessons. All the next 9 trials you fight alone, and you win. Every single one of them. Congratulations! You emerge as one of Melee-Magthere's finest warriors. Your reward? A patrol into the Underdark. As you enter the cave, you recognize it. The same ground where you fought your trials. Now, you march alongside 4 warriors, a battle mage, and your brother, Dinon, the leader. Dinon, the first son of House Do'Urden, a warrior of deadly skill, trained since birth to carve through enemies without hesitation. Cunning, ruthless, relentless, he leads with instinct honed by years of battle, his presence alone commanding obedience. Among you, the battle mage carries a magical onyx figurine, the key to summoning a beast from another plane. Gwenhwyvar, a panther of 5 feet at the shoulder, 600 pounds of sheer power. Something about her graceful movement catches your attention. You see the intelligence in her eyes. She is more than just a summoned beast. Over time, patrols sharpen your skills, and your performance earns you the most dangerous task, scouting ahead where you tread alone. By Dinon's command, Gwenhwyvar accompanies you. The bond between you and the panther grows stronger with each passing day, the two of you becoming an unspoken unit, watching the shadows together. It's in these moments you realise this is your first true friendship. You return from scouting, confirming a threat to Drow territory. 3 full patrol groups of Svirfneblins. Gnomes are not to be taken lightly, Dinon replies. They are wicked and powerful. As wicked as surface elves? Almost. His voice is grim. You don't feel thrilled about this incursion, but if the gnomes are as evil as Dinon and the others claim, then Menzoberranzan has no choice but to respond with force. Less than 100 feet ahead, you hear them. A hammer striking stone, a pickaxe carving rock. Sounds of a mining operation, you guess. Dinon signals you closer. The chamber has many exits, he warns, his fingers moving in swift drow sign. The other patrols are moving into position around the gnomes. Your hands move before you think. Might we parley with the gnomes? Dinon grabs you, pulls you close, too close. I will forget that you asked that question. His whisper is ice against your ear before he releases you. You and the panther start the fight. The command is final. You move forward, low and silent. Gwenhwyvar glides beside you, her form blending with the shadows. The first gnome doesn't even see the strike coming. You drive him down, knocking him off balance before he can shout. The second barely manages a step before Gwenhwyvar slams into him. Then a sharp cry splits the air. The alarm is raised. The gnome leader, eyes darting in panic, activates a rune stone in his collar. The cave trembles. A deep rumble echoes through the tunnels. Stone shifts and cracks. A massive form rises from the rock itself, a towering earth elemental. The gnomes scatter, disappearing through the tunnels as the other drow give chase. Now it's just you and the creature of living stone. Where is Gwen? She was just here. A sickening dread knots in your stomach. I need you, my friend. You barely have time to turn before the earth elemental's fist comes crashing down. The impact sends a tremor through the stone. It's too big, too strong. Your blades are useless against solid rock. Then, you see it, feel it, but there's no time. A blur of black fur slams into you. Gwenhwyvar. The impact knocks you aside just as the elemental's stone fist comes crashing down. Instead of you, it hits her. The force sends her flying, her body twisting through the air before she crashes into the stone ground with a brutal, sickening thud. You watch your friend lie broken. Her legs are twisted at unnatural angles, her massive paws crushed. Her head slumps to the side. Blood drips from her nose, her fragile, trembling breath fading. Memories flash through your mind. You remember the joy, the quiet moments, the unspoken bond. She was always there. Her yellow eyes start to close. It can't be true. No. Rage surges through you. It burns hotter than pain, hotter than fear. Fury drowns out doubt. You don't care anymore. You have nothing left to lose. You charge, reckless. The elemental's fist swings. You leap, feet pounding up its massive arm, balancing yourself as it shifts beneath you. You throw both scimitars spinning mid-air. You jump, kicking both of them with every force you have left in your body. The blades drive deep into the elemental's glowing eyes. A flash. Light explodes from within. You shield your eyes as magic unravels. When the brilliance fades, all that remains is shattered stone. Pain crashes into you. Your right arm hangs limp. Every step toward Gwenweaver feels heavier. You force yourself forward. You hug your big friend. You feel her warm body touching your face. Then, a thunder before agony explodes across your back without warning. Your muscles lock as searing pain floods your body. You collapse to your knees, your vision tilting, the world spinning. You fight to stay conscious, every breath sharp and ragged. A voice cuts through the haze. House Hunnet sends its regards. The 10th house, one step from wiping out Do'Urden. Blinking through the pain, you make out the mage, the one part of your patrol. He stands over you, smirking, no longer hiding his true intentions. How does it feel? He sneers. Betrayed? Alone? He lifts his hand, energy curling around his fingers. How would you feel to be torn apart by your own friend? Through the haze, you see movement. Gwenweaver. She pushes herself up, her body trembling, muscles barely holding. But she breathes. She's alive. Do it! Kill him! The mage commands. For a moment, Gwenweaver hesitates, her body stiff, golden eyes filled with confusion. She is bound to obey. But this time, something is different. A low growl rumbles in her throat, her muscles locking as she resists the command. The mage's patience snaps. Kill him, you stupid animal, he roars. Dark magic surges. Gwenweaver freezes, her body rigid under his power. Slowly, painfully, she turns toward you. Her possessed eyes flicker with agony, sorrow that tears at her soul. Her mouth begins to open, fangs gleaming. You see it in her eyes, the torment. She doesn't want this. She stares at you, a silent goodbye. You smile, weak but certain. You raise a trembling hand, fingers brushing against her soft fur one last time. It's okay. You don't have to fight anymore. I'm grateful for everything. You were my only true friend. Farewell. And then, in that instant, something inside her breaks her free. The bond between you spoke louder. The love, the trust, the partnership. It shatters the enchantment faster than any spell could. You feel her growl resonate through your skin, echoing through the cave. But then she stumbles, collapsing beside you, too weak to stand. She fought for you, fought the darkness, and now she has nothing left. The mage snarls. He steps forward and drives his boot into her ribs, a breathless yelp. Useless beast! Kicking her again and again. Something inside you unravels. You scream. Everything you have out of your lungs. Time and space begin to bend. You run, faster than time itself. You leap, both feet slam into his chest, launching him backward. A heartbeat and you're flying again. Your hands clamp around his face mid-fall. His head meets stone. Your fists crash down over and over and over again. The pleasantness in his screams fades. Red. Nothing else. You're just not there. A ragged breath. You freeze, your hands shake, still clenched into fists. You stare down at the corpse, at the blood covering everywhere. You feel hollow, lost. Gwenweaver whimpers. You turn. Her golden eyes are on you. You stagger toward her. She lifts her head weakly, then, with the last of her strength, licks the blood from your face. A shuddering breath escapes you. Your fingers tangle in her fur, holding on like she is the only thing keeping you from slipping away. You press your forehead against her. A whisper escapes your lips. I'm sorry.